Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failer. In our last video, we tackled Jury Fury. This video is all about the final Ken mission, Riot. Note that Tommy is wearing the soiree outfit at the start here, but when we go into the cutscene, he is changed into the street outfit. This glitch was fixed in the definitive edition.
Tommy, this is Avery Carrington. I believe you met at the party?
Not in person.
Howdy. Avery here has a proposition.
Here, Ken introduces Tommy to Avery Carrington and says that we met him at the party. Remember, Mercedes showed us around and pointed out some of the distinguished guests at the party. So Avery Carrington was one of those guests, along with BJ Smith and Donald Love. And I'll show you a little bit of that cutscene right now.
This is Ken.
And over there, we have the Vice City Mamba's star titan, BJ. Always the charmer.
I blocked down on him, and then I put him in a wheelchair.
That is good. Well, now I'm looking at some prime.
And that poolside amphibian is Jez Torrent.
Avery just used the term greaseball to reference the Forelli crime family. Greaseball is on Wikipedia's page of ethnic slurs. It says that greaseball is a slur mainly against Italians or people of Italian descent. Avery is a real estate developer, and the reason that Ken is getting distracted from our efforts to find the money and or the drugs from that drug deal gone wrong in the opening cutscene to the game is that Ken is poor right now and he just needs money. So he's hiring a brand new client. Avery is going to pay Ken to represent him. And so this is basically just an opportunity for the game to give us another mission giver. Passing this mission gives $1,000 and unlocks the coveralls outfit over at the North Point Mall and makes the baseball bat purchasable at the tool shops, and also gives Avery as a mission giver and also gives us a phone call, which gives us Colonel Cortez as another mission giver. So the premise of this mission is we change into the coveralls outfit so that we can blend in with the workers who are basically on strike right now. And so we'll blend in with the striking workers. We will punch 4 of them, which will start a riot, which will cause the folks on the inside of the Spanned Express gates to open the gates to try to squash that riot. And that will allow us to destroy the 3 Spanned Express vans. And the whole point of all of that is to put Spanned Express out of business because they have property right next to the building site, which Avery Carrington owns and is currently making like a massive building on. It's that construction site. And so Avery wanted to buy out the Spanned Express. They wouldn't sell. And so now his alternative, which is kind of draconian, is to put them out of business so that he can, I guess, buy their property after they have to sell it to him because they're out of business. So let's get into it here with the vanilla attempt. So we're going to start a fight with 4 workers. There's number 1. Hello, sir. Welcome to the party. So, of course, when you start the fight with these guys, they come after you. That kind of is the challenge of this mission. So you can pick any 4. I'm just kind of walking around here to show you that the gates are currently locked, and the vans that we need to destroy are inside of those locked gates. And once we have started this riot, then the security guards inside the gate come out to stop the riot. We can go in, and it says we could kill this guy to take his gun. We have lots of weapons already, but this is giving you a sense that you can take weapons from folks if you kill them. I think that's a lesson for us all. So I don't need to kill this guy, but I'm just kind of, again, showing the vanilla attempt. So he drops his gun. You can pick up that pistol. I think I'm just going to end up using... I was sort of surprised to see that dying animation there. I looked at my health. I have plenty. So anyway, I destroyed the 2 vans, the 2 trucks over there by shooting the red explosive barrel right next to it. And then here I'll just hit this van with a few shotgun rounds. But these guys are getting in my way, ruining my footage. Leave me alone. And so once this van gets destroyed, mission passed. Everybody falls down. And so I kept the video running here. I've never stuck around after I passed this mission, but yeah, some folks are still rioting. They don't understand that the mission is passed. So you can see it's basically the workers against the security guards here, and so we'll get this phone call, which will give us Colonel Cortez as a mission giver, and then once we end this phone call, we'll have a C on the map. Once we passed this mission, we got an A on the map because Avery became a new mission giver for us. So yeah, so this mission unlocks a lot of stuff. 2 new chains of missions, Avery and Colonel Cortez, plus the coveralls outfit, plus the baseball bat purchasable at the tool shop, plus all this money. I think at some point I realized there was a lot of money on the ground. Give me all that. Yeah. So the only other thing I wanted to show in this attempt was that indeed the coverall outfit is now available to us. I mean, we're wearing it right now, but I want to show you that if we happen to change into another outfit, like the soiree outfit, which is available at Raphael's for the rest of the game, now we can go to the tool shop in the North Point Mall and change into the newly available coveralls outfit. So I'll just quadruple speed the run over to this tool shop, and you can see here, not in the pink marker where you'd buy items, but rather just north of that marker, we can hop into the coveralls outfit. Looking good, Tommy. Next, I'll show you what happens if you don't bother changing into the coveralls. So we will stay in our soiree outfit here and just go directly to the Spanned Express location. If you recall, there was something similar in the mission The Party, where if you don't change into the soiree outfit, then you can't proceed with the mission. The pink marker over at Colonel Cortez's yacht just didn't appear until you went ahead and changed into the soiree outfit. So what about here? Well, we never changed into the coveralls, but it sure looks like the mission is proceeding as usual. The instructions tell us to start a riot by punching 4 people. And after we do that, does the mission proceed? Do the gates open? Indeed they do. Surprisingly, you don't need to change into the coveralls in order to complete this mission. One thing I noticed while recording footage for this episode is that if you're in the coveralls, when you punch those 4 guys and the gates open, it's only those 4 guys that come after Tommy, that continue to come after Tommy. But if you're not in the coveralls like here, it sure seems like more of the workers are interested in fighting Tommy, more than just the 4 that you punch. In this next attempt, I discovered that when a car door is open, the door has no hit detection. I had no idea. Did you know you could just walk through these car doors? I've been running around them for all 15 years I've been playing this game. All right, so here I'm going to show you the speed strat. It turns out you can just shoot bullets right through this fence, even with the gate locked. So you don't bother starting a riot. You just shoot the one barrel, and then you shoot this other Spend Express with a few shotgun shells, and mission passed. So that's the speed strat. Next, I'll demonstrate that you can start the riot with a variety of weapons, beginning with the pistol. Notice here I'm not wearing the coveralls, so after I shoot 4 guys, a lot more than these 4 guys are going to be interested in me. You can see a ton of them turn on me. But now I'm one of them, wearing the coveralls, again using the pistol, and taking some punches for science. But here we're just going to be attacked by the 4 guys that we shoot, and nobody else, because the rioters here can see that I'm one of them because I'm wearing the coveralls, so it's just the 4 guys after me. Next, we'll see what happens if instead of starting a fight, you actually just kill 4 of these guys, and we'll use the minigun here, and it works. That proceeds the mission, so you don't actually need to fight them, you can kill them with a weapon of choice. I used a weapons cheat code to give myself some Molotov cocktails. That's a lot more than 4. And the pig patrol officers are not moved by the fact that there were like 20 people that just got lit on fire. They're coming out to crack some commie skulls. So, can you use the Molotov cocktail to destroy the vans? Yeah, this is in fast forward because it takes a lot of cocktails. Actually, I had to use the cheat code a second time to give myself 10 more Molotovs. But eventually, you can catch the vans on fire and pass the mission if you have a lot of Molotovs. Now we'll start experimenting with the back way to get into that Spanned Express lot with the gate locked. So here we're going up the construction site, which is right behind that Spanned Express lot. Jump onto this little platform here. And then from here, I gave myself some remote grenades by using a cheat code. And I just wanted to see if I could pass this mission without interacting with anybody in this mission, any of those NPCs. So not the workers who are striking and not the security guards who are inside the gate. And I just wanted to see if I could remotely detonate, and it took a few shots to get the farther one, but eventually we got there. After this remote grenade pass, I decided to come up here again the back way, and this time we're going to hop into this gated area before the gate is open, and I'm going to kill all of the pigs that are in here, and then I'm going to shoot through the gate and see if I can start the riot. Like, what's going to happen if we start the riot, but there's no security officers here to squish some commie skulls or whatever they want to do. So the cutscene, it doesn't like the gate opens, but you notice there was no cutscene, right? Where the security guards talk to each other about what they're about to do. Because I was in the Hawaiian shirt instead of the coveralls, the workers were after me. And in this attempt, I did the same thing, killed all of the security guards, but this time I'm in the coveralls, and so the gates open without a cutscene, but because I'm in the coveralls, I'm not attacked by the workers. Next, we'll see what happens if we run over 4 workers. Does that start the riot? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a few extra. Can't hurt anybody. Well, except for the workers that got hurt by getting run over by the BF injection, but yeah, that works. Next, I'll show you another way to get the Spanned Express, which is kind of a unique vehicle. It only appears in this mission and in the previous mission, and I showed you how to get one of the Spanned Expresses in a previous mission, and here you can like drown the Spanned Express so that the vehicle is counted as destroyed, but it's still functional. You notice that I lost a little bit of health there because I was starting to die at the same time that the Spanned Express was dying. Here's another way to get one of these Spanned Expresses. So I did the same thing. I destroyed 2 of the Spanned Expresses, and this is the only one left to destroy. And I fast forwarded there through taking my other Spanned Express from the last mission out of this garage. This is the only garage on this island where the Spanned Express will fit. And then I put the current Spanned Express in the garage. It still needs to be destroyed to pass the mission. I'll destroy it. But the point of putting it in the garage is that once I let that garage door close, the Spanned Express's health is restored. And so now it's fully functional and it's mine to keep in this garage if I wish. Now we get to my challenge, and here's my first of several attempts at this challenge. My goal is to pass this mission without hurting anyone. And so that means no punching and no shooting. And this sounds very similar to the challenge I gave for myself in the last couple of videos. And in those challenges, I got the police to do my dirty work. But in both cases, I had to shoot or punch, I don't know, one of the policemen to get my wanted level up to 2 stars. And so I don't want to do that at all. I want to be totally nonviolent here, which means I want these security guards to do my dirty work. And you can see my basic plan was to push the one truck over to right next to the other 2 in the hopes that this security guard with the gun would shoot the barrel and then I would win and I wouldn't have to do anything. So I waited and waited and waited and tried to lure him over there and get him to shoot this barrel, and he just refused. And so eventually I gave up and decided to try pushing the other barrel this way, because I think if the barrel is like lying on the ground, I don't think it's high enough to be shot by the security guard. So we pushed the barrel over, and the security guard finally shoots it very far away from the Spanned Express trucks and kills all of the other security guards. Ugh. Let's try attempt number 2. So the barrel, yeah, we just got to push it towards the guy with the gun. All right, so it's on the ground now. I think I need it standing up, but one of these security guards is going to help me out. It takes 2. Let's go. All right, so he stood it up. It's right there. Shoot it, shoot it. All right, my health is at 49. I'm on the ground. My health is at 0. Dang. Okay, we got it this time. 3rd attempt. Shoot this thing right here. Oh, 0. Okay, 4th time's the charm. Here we're going to drive right in between. And actually this worked out really well because it meant that the barrel was kind of like standing up against the one truck and then shoot it. Boom. And we survived. Mission passed. I didn't fire a single bullet. I didn't punch a single construction worker or Spandex Express worker, whatever. But then, gang, tragedy. Tragedy. I didn't save here. I just decided I was going to run around. I refilled my armor, as you can see. I thought there was like a heart pickup in those showers. I was wrong. And then I jumped over here. I couldn't quite see where I was going. I was just trying to get back to the road and then walked to my death in the water. Are you kidding me? My goodness, I can't believe I did that, gang. So because I don't want any deaths or busteds at the end of this whole video series, I have to redo my challenge from scratch. Oy. All right, so here's my last attempt at this mission. Now, this is Ken's final mission to give us. He gave us 4, and I'm going to rate every single mission in the game, and I'm going to rate every single mission giver, and I'm going to do that when we get to the final mission for each mission giver. So it's time for us to rate the Ken missions and to rate Ken as a mission giver. Feel free to rate each of Ken's missions in the comments below. So the scale that I'm going to use is the same 1 to 10 as I've been using. 1 is a terrible mission, 10 is an awesome mission. And basically what I'm looking for is a mission to be fun and a mission to find the sweet spot in terms of challenge. Not too easy, not too hard. I'll give bonus points for missions that advance the story in some meaningful way. The first Ken mission was called The Party, where we had to put on the soiree outfit and then drive to Colonel Cortez's yacht. And then Mercedes showed us around the party, and then we drove her over to pole position. So there's no challenge for that one, but it is meaningful. It introduces a number of characters in the game, number of important characters that are at that party. So that's pretty cool. We'll give that one a 5 out of 10. Next up was Back Alley Brawl, where we had to go meet Kent Paul over at the Malibu, and then we had to kill the chef and take his cell phone, and then we met Lance, and we took him to the ammunition, and then back to the hotel. No challenge really. It's a 3 out of 10. It doesn't really do much for me, although it does give you the phone, which is cool. That's required, and it's the ammunition tutorial. Both of those are good, but the mission is pretty boring, pretty bland, which is not surprising given that we're right here at the start of the game. The next Ken mission was Jury Fury, where you had to damage the vehicles of 2 jurors. Again, not really a lot of challenge, not a whole lot of fun. We'll give that one another 3 out of 10. And then finally, this mission here is the first one where things actually ramp up. And if you are early in the game and you don't have all kinds of great weapons like we do, then it could be tough to survive, getting harassed by at least 4 of those workers and then the security guards that are inside the gates. We'll give that one a 7 out of 10. Now I'll give Ken a rating, and the rating that I'm going to give to the mission givers isn't just going to be an average of the grades that I gave to their missions, but just rather how I feel about them as a mission giver. Same scale, 1 is a terrible mission giver, 10 is an awesome mission giver, and so I'm going to give Ken a very middle of the road 5 out of 10. I like the character, I like all of his neuroses, I like that he's a slimy lawyer. He is the kind of lawyer that gives lawyers a bad name, and I think he's really funny, but his missions are pretty vanilla, pretty boring, which is, again, not surprising since we're so early on in the game. So 5 out of 10 for Ken. Now, even though this is Ken's last mission, it is not the last time that we'll see him. Ken is the mission giver for 4 missions, and he'll appear in 7 other missions in this game, plus 2 phone calls. So he's got a lot of appearances in this game, 13 if you count the 2 phone calls. In San Andreas, Ken is the mission giver for 2 missions. He appears in 4 other missions, and he appears in 3 phone calls. Additionally, Ken is mentioned on a Vice City radio news report in Vice City Stories. So, counting missions and phone calls, Ken makes 23 distinct appearances in GTA games, which is pretty cool. So, as you've seen, I was able to pass my challenge eventually and get one of those security guards to blow up one of the trucks, which blew up the other 2 trucks. Super. And now I have a few mundane tasks to do before we end this video. On this phone call with Cortez, I'm going to refill my armor, and then I'm going to change back into the soiree outfit just for kicks. Want to be fashionable going forward in the future episodes in this series, and then we'll head over to the newly available C icon on the map in preparation for our next video. But here I'm going to read from Ken's Wikipedia page, Ken's wiki page. In Vice City, during the blank screen after being busted, but before the player respawns outside the police station, the player can occasionally hear Ken Rosenberg talking over the phone with the police in an attempt to get Tommy released, using a variety of conjecture, insults, and even threats to get his way. There are 28 lines in total. And when I read that, I was stunned because the only line that I know of is the one that I know I've heard a bunch of times when I've gotten busted in this game. Tommy Vercetti is an innocent man, and I really don't recognize any of the other lines in this list of 28. So, just for kicks, I decided to let myself get busted a whole bunch of times in a row. And here I'm going to play for you the lines that I heard when I got busted multiple times in a row in the same save file.
Hit him again.
Tommy Vercetti is an innocent man.
I know you're only doing your job.
Officer, you really think my client was capable of that?
We're done. Calm down.
Tommy Vercetti walks right here, or we sue for defamation.
Not guilty.
My client wasn't even in town today, and you know it.
So now I'll play for you the rest of Ken's 28 lines from the wiki.
Of course he looks like the suspect. That don't make him guilty. You look like an idiot. That doesn't mean you are one. Vercetti walks right now, or there's going to be hell to pay. Tommy Vercetti is a kind man, a generous man, a civic-minded man, but he does not appreciate being called a killer, officer. Come on, officer, Tommy Vercetti wasn't even in Vice City on the day in question. Tommy Vercetti doesn't even own a gun. How could he do that? How could he? Now let him go. You know and I know Tommy Vercetti never did that. Vercetti walks or you can kiss your promotion goodbye, pal. Well, sure he was there, but that hardly means he did it. Vercetti walks right now. Bail or I sue. You wouldn't know the truth if you found it banging your wife. Now shut up and release my client. And your wife's not that great. Oh, really? 'Cause you saw it. It must have happened. Ho, ho, ho. What a load of crap, and you know it. Come on, officer. Come on, what are you drinking on the job? Get Sergeant Polanski down here. That fat chump owes me a favor.
I ran out of footage to show, but there's still more Ken clips, so here's a video of me doing a katana rampage in a tank.
My client is a very important man, and he won't respond kindly to these revolting accusations. All your evidence is circumstantial bullshit, and you know it. We're trying to prepare a legal case, officer, not sling accusations around like a pre-picked dodo. You think your opinion is important here? We are talking about a man's freedom. Don't make me get irritated with you, officer. You cannot substantiate your claims in any way, shape, or form. Vercetti walks. These charges, they ain't worth the paper they're written on, and you know it. You have no grounds for refusing bail right now. My client is innocent. You think that is going to stand up in court? Come on, he's an innocent man, officer. If I have to make a claim against the police department for this outrage, I will.
If I ever get arrested, I really hope Ken Rosenberg is available to take my case. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.